Hi everybody, it's Shanna. I wanted to bring to you a project that I'm working on for my mom for Mother's Day. It's a recycled box that I'm making for her to keep some of her jewelry making items in. And I've used a bunch of products from the Creative Soup for the Soul.ings.com Zibbit store. So my grandma gave me this box, and it was just a cardboard box that had a music book in it that she'd ordered. And she's so funny because she's said she's afraid to throw anything away now because I might want to do something to it. So I'm really glad that she sent it to me because my mom does a lot of jewelry work and some of her stuff's in baggies and stuff, so I thought it was a good thing for her to store. So this box measures, if you can see the overview here real quick. Well, I can't get the whole thing in there at once. It measured a little over 12 inches by like 9.5 inches. I have used the photo type papers are from Graphic 45, Labor Antique. The background papers are just stuff that I had in my red stash. My mom likes red, so I was trying to go on a vintagey sort of feel, but with some reds. So I I painted the box first of all with some ivory paint, and I just painted the inside and then the bottom. Then I lined the rest with paper. And because it was over, actually this box is a lot more than 12 because I had like, it must be 13 because I actually tried to use a 12 by 12 piece of paper and it was not long enough. So I wasn't sure what I was going to do at first, so I ended up putting this other sheet of paper on it. And I liked this doily punch by, I think it's a Martha Stewart punch. But I didn't like the way it went up against this paper, so I put some white paper behind it. I distressed everything with vintage photo. And then my mom's name is Vicky, and I used some circle stickers that I had that kind of seemed like they matched. So I did the papers first, and then I took the box pleated trim that that is my favorite from Trish, and I got a look because I knew she was clearancing a bunch of stuff out, and I know she's gonna be carrying trims in her new line of stuff at the store, and I hope the box pleated stuff is still that because I am pretty much almost through my white stash, I'm afraid. So I used my Lindy's. I actually tried to make some homemade red glimmer mist too that didn't turn out quite like I liked. So everything was sprayed with that first and I didn't like it, so then I added some Lindy's. I think it's like the Rudolph red. And I did all my flowers and my trim in that color and had red fingers for 2 days, and it was a mess. But so I lined the box pleated trim that way, and then I used the teardrop ivory trim on top, and then of course the red mesh bling on top of that. I really loved the way that outlined the box, so I did that all around the top. And when I painted the inside of the box, of course somehow I ended up with this little bit of a warp. I don't know if you can see it. See how there's a little bit of a gap there? So I went ahead, after putting the paper on, I used this wide braided type trim that was an ecru or ivory, cream color, whatever you want to say, around the edge, and then kind of just overlapped it a little bit to cover up the gap of the box. Now, I wanted a handle, and so I put this is one of the buttons that Trish had given me a while back, and I put that, and I had done a couple of these little fragment pictures because I thought they were cute, so I lined them up and put that there as a button. Well, then it overhanged onto the bottom side, see if you can see there, and I didn't really like that. So I took, this was the trim, the scallop trim that had the little rose little bit of rose embroidery trim at the top, and I took that off, the rose part, and then I scalloped it under, kind of making it like a collar. And I really like the way that turned out. Just kind of accentuates that bottom there. Now on my big photo here, I glossy accented all the butterflies that are in the picture. I took a couple of the images because there's like 2 pieces of this paper in a pack. So one of them was cut up because I had used this woman on another project. So I took the other pieces that was left on that, and I cut them out, fussy cut them, and then stood them up on pop dots so that it kind of gives it some depth. I made the mistake of, when I was lindying my flowers and stuff red, I had a piece of old backing of something that I had them setting on to dry, and unfortunately there was some slits in it, and I didn't realize that. I had laid that on top of my project, which I don't know, I'm a dork, I don't know why I did that, but I ended up with these red plotches. You can actually kind of see one under there, and I was so upset. I really thought my project was ruined. But I really had this dead space after I put the flowers on anyway, and so I went ahead and cut out these other images from the paper line and backed them with some other of this paper, and I really liked the way that it filled in, and it didn't leave this big dead space anyway. So that had fixed my red blotches that were on here. Then there was one over here, and I decided just to play on the butterfly motif anyway, because I had put some little butterflies here and there in there, and so I just put one over that, and so you can't see it, the red splotch, unless you really look. I put a butterfly up here in the corner because I just felt like it was dead, and this little butterfly here, I used just some half-back pearls that I had and made my own little swirly. Over here I took some of the gardenias that were white and sprayed them. These are like my own little makeshift flowers. They're just some petals that I had that I scrunched together on a circle. So I had some already in white and brown, and that's kind of what I used. And then of course I had some more just white roses that I sprayed. I'm going through, I don't think I have any more red flowers for out of what I got, so Trish can't wait till that new line of flowers comes out, because I'm going to need to stock up. I am almost running out. I have some skeleton leaves, of course, in the different colors. I have brown, and I have the regular natural here. I had just some little butterflies that I don't even know where I got them. So I put the flowers in the corners. And then when you opened it, it was all painted, and I didn't want this. I wanted something, and so as you can tell here, I took this other piece of paper that's so pretty in the paper pack, and you just can't really cut it up. I mean, it just would do more harm. I mean, it's just not nice. So I put that there with the gentleman, and I really liked that, to cut inside the box. And then this is a flower that I made with that same trim that I had just wrapped around a circle, and then I took braided, the Chinese braided trim, wrapped it, and put a little porcelain flower in the middle. So I really hope my mom likes her box. I really like it a lot, so I hope she loves it. I mean, I'm sure she will, because I made it and all, but I really want her to truly love it, so to use for her stuff. So thank you so much for watching my video, making comments, and I will see you on CreativeSoapForTheSoul.ing site. We have lots of fun over there, and watch the Zibbit store, because I know within the next week or so there's going to be lots of new stuff on the store, and it'll be great. Great to see what she's got. Thanks a lot. Bye.